Hello, Mother. This is Half Mental, a show that's 90% baseball and the other half mental. I'm Holt.
And I'm Dan.
We are here to record our yearly installment of How the World Series Was Lost. Right?
Starring
The Dodgers, primarily. Cheers.
Cheers.
Congratulations to the Boston Red Sox. I'd like to say really quick that I wore a green shirt to shoot tonight, and that doesn't work. And I always carry a Yoda shirt in my trunk.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm wearing a Yoda shirt tonight.
Perfect.
Yeah, the Dodgers lost the World Series again, 2 years in a row. I think that we have to stop making this show.
That's true. They're the first team since like the 1930s to lose consecutive World Series in their home stadium.
Yeah. That made it extra rough.
Yeah.
Like I was on the way out here, I was like, did it hurt more this year or last year? I think it hurt more this year, but the pain didn't last as long.
Yeah, so I was interested to get your take on this because, and we actually have not really talked that much about the World Series.
Oh, we haven't talked about it.
Because I try to give you your space when I think you need it.
Yeah.
But, like, last year, I thought you guys were going to win the World Series.
Yeah.
And this year, it never really felt like that once the World Series started.
No, that's true. And, like, some people have said to me, like, it's such a good series. And I was like, I don't know.
I want to talk about that, too. So, I've seen people say that it was a terrible World Series. And I wanted to get your take on that, too. Because, like, I didn't think it was a bad series. I think that the Red Sox were just clearly the best team in baseball this year.
Right.
And then they lost one game to the three other best teams in baseball.
So I think
in each series, you know.
I think that this is kind of what I've been telling myself. It was a good series because those games felt...
They were all pretty exciting.
They were all, like, filled with tension, I felt like.
Yeah, I think
for the most part.
Yeah. Until like the 7th inning.
Yeah, until like the 7th or 8th inning when the Red Sox would just run away with it.
I think, so my takeaway was that, like, if this wasn't a good World Series, then I think it's just important to realize how good all World Series are. Like, maybe this wasn't, like the Dodgers and Astros were, I think that was a truly great series, right? It was like just two great teams going at each other. And I don't know that this one had that same feeling. But it was still an awful lot of fun.
Yeah, it was.
We had an 18-inning game.
That was insane.
It was the longest playoff game ever.
Yep.
It was 12 minutes away from the longest game ever, I think.
Oh,
or
really?
14 minutes. It was, It was 7 hours and 20 minutes long.
I watched every single, like, the next day I was like, I can't believe I watched, like...
Yeah,
I mean, I can believe I watched it, but, like, I literally didn't miss a pitch and stood up for most of it in my home.
561 pitches.
Jeez. Ended by Max Muncy.
Yeah.
That funky Muncy.
Yeah.
Upon reflecting today, I'm just so bummed that we wasted Puig's home run.
I know.
That
was a great moment.
Even if we lost the World Series but won that game,
it would have still
we could at least still like show that gif all the time. But like now I just like see it and I get bummed out.
That was a great home run.
But it was just so awesome, and his arms went in the air.
Did you see the pitch before that?
Oh yeah, when he stuck his butt out.
Yeah, he did this little butt waggle.
Yep.
A ball slightly
when
inside.
He starts doing stuff like that, I'm like, he's locked in.
Yeah.
It's so fun.
Yeah, if he's not doing that, something's wrong.
But yeah, so you said something before saying you think that Alex Cora is going to outmanage Dave Roberts.
I did think that, yeah.
And I know I sound like a sore loser right now, and sometimes I am. But
no.
Alex Cora, he did outmanage Dave Roberts.
Yes.
But I also think that, like, bar was set pretty low.
Yeah.
And he's gotten a lot of
Cora
shit.
actually had a couple of things. Like, Cora did some things that I disagreed with. It's just it all worked.
Right.
Like,
and that's the thing.
he did, like, I think it was dumb to bring David Price in for 2 outs in Game 3, right? That was Game 3. But he did it, and then he still pitched Game 4 and did really well.
Right.
So, like, it worked. But I still think that, I don't know.
Yeah.
It's just, it all worked, right? All his players did what they were supposed to do, basically.
Right. Had it not worked, then everyone would be talking about how...
Yeah, if David Price had
tweeting about how
Oh, man. Let's not even. Yeah, if David Price has a rough Game 4, it's, well, Cora should have never messed with David Price's whatever, you know.
Yeah.
But, yeah, with the benefit of looking at the results, it sure looks like Dave Roberts got outmanaged.
Yeah, definitely. And some of the like really the only moves that made me go nuts with Dave Roberts, because a lot of Dodgers fans are like want his head.
They're
on
getting
spike
real
right
nitpicky.
Now.
Yeah. Some of the stuff.
But the only thing that drove me insane was when we put Kenley Jansen in the 8th in Game 4, and he gave up the game-tying home run. In the 8th. I was like, that's weird. Like, you play a whole season, and you don't put him in until the 9th.
Yeah.
And we've put him in the 8th before in the postseason, but we haven't done it this year.
Right.
Kenley's a little bit different than he is this year.
Yeah.
Has been this year. But, like, I still, even that night, gave him the benefit of the doubt. I was like, we have to win. Like, we have to win these games. Kenley gives us the best chance to win, blah, blah, blah. But then the next night, he puts him in the 8th, and Kenley gives up another home run. And it's like, again in the 8th?
It seems like... Yeah, and I think that there's criticism in a short series for the Dodgers lineup against left-handed starting pitching.
Yeah.
Because that's not the Dodgers' best lineup.
Right.
And in the course of a 162-game season, it's like, sure, we'll give these guys the day off.
Yeah.
But, like, at one point, you guys... The Dodgers lost 2 games without giving, like, at-bats to 3 of their best hitters, basically.
Right.
It's like, well, that's just, like, that's not... Postseason baseball is a different animal.
Yeah. I think if you can say... And it's, like... This is a little subjective, but... If you could say anything about Dave Roberts, it just feels like he doesn't... He totally goes by the data. Like, 100%. He doesn't go by, like, who's hot or... The feeling, it's like...
It really is like, well, Brian Dozier bats leadoff against left-handed batter or left-handed pitchers because of this and this and this. And it's like, yeah, but he's just Brian. He's like 38-year-old Brian Dozier. Like, just start Max Muncy. I don't care.
Yeah, I mean, that was hard. That was getting, like, super frustrating.
Yeah.
Also, you just, like... Baseball is a game of, like, grinding out at bats, you know? Like... Yeah. So if Cody Bellinger goes 0 for 3 in Game 1, maybe he goes, 2 for 4 with 2 home runs in Game 2.
Yeah.
But he definitely goes over if he's not even getting a chance.
Yeah, one point,
our NLCS MVP.
You guys didn't
swing the bat.
You guys had
2 games.
Yeah, you guys had 2 games in a row without starting your top 5 home run hitters.
Yeah.
That's just not the right way to win baseball. Like, I don't know.
Yeah. I also think, and I know this is all like, well, whatever. Should have done it. Didn't do it. But, like, I think what was really frustrating about that series is I think Boston probably would have beaten us, like, no matter what. But from the start of the NLCS to the end of the 2018 season, our offense was just really bad.
Yes.
Really bad. And that was hard to watch because that's not representative of who we were all year long.
Right.
So that was, like, shitty and hard to swallow.
Yeah.
You just kind of expected guys to strike out. You expected guys to pop out.
Yeah.
As where in the middle towards the end of the year, you expected guys to get the big hit. You expected people to hit with 2 outs and John Smoltz
Should we?
Still sucks.
I think we should pivot a little bit and talk about
The Red Sox?
the good things that the Red Sox did.
Yeah, they're good.
Steve Pearce.
I guess you can buy a World Series.
Yeah, scrappy little.
I don't know how anyone expected us to compete against that payroll. Sorry.
It's okay. Backup first baseman, Steve Pearce.
Wait, can we just not talk about the Red Sox?
Ended up as the World Series MVP, which, to be real clear, I don't necessarily care about individual series MVPs past like the moment that the series is happening. But he didn't get an at-bat until the 8th inning of Game 4.
That is crazy.
And then he hit 3 home runs.
Yeah. God, what the...
In the next 10 innings of baseball and won the MVP.
Yeah.
Which is crazy. I would have given it to David Price, personally.
Yeah. David Price was lights out, or even Eovaldi. I know he takes the loss on that 18 game.
This was the big... Did you see Porcello's quote?
No.
Porcello... So, yeah, the 18-inning game, right? The Walker Buehler had an amazing start. Game gets tied. Eovaldi pitches 6 innings of 1-run ball, right?
Yeah.
And gets the loss.
Yes.
6 innings out of the pen is pretty unheard of. Porcello said he went up to, like, give him a little pat on the back or something, and he said that he started crying. Like, Porcello was just, like, so overcome with emotion on, like, the effort that this guy put out. I mean, it was really amazing.
It was insane. I mean, I just kept waiting for them to get someone up in the bullpen. I think all they had left was Pomeranz.
Yeah, they, like, really didn't. And he started game... He started game...
No. He was going to start the next game.
And then he did it. Okay.
And then Rodriguez or something about it. Yeah, you saw a little bit of that, I think, when Eovaldi came off the field, like, after the home run, like, the Red Sox came out to, like, do not be bummed
this was
about
not
this.
a bad game.
But you could tell.
He was
like,
the second best pitcher of the game.
Yeah. You could tell he's, a professional athlete. He's pissed. Like, of course he wants to win that game. And then I heard they said this in the broadcast that, like, they, Cora recognized him or whatever after the game, and the team just gave him, like, a standing ovation.
Yeah.
It was incredible.
Yeah.
I mean, I just kept waiting for that to blow up in their face, and it just kept not blowing up in their face, Yeah.
Did you see the camera shot of the Boston bullpen as Chris Sale entered the 9th inning of Game 5?
Yeah.
It was pretty awesome.
That was cool. Wait, what did they do?
He just walked through a gauntlet of the bullpen guys, just cheering him on.
Yeah, I did.
It was really, it was very cool.
Yeah, I did see
it.
That.
Had to
Wait, what was it? No, I did see that.
It has to feel pretty awesome, like, for Chris Sale in that moment.
Yeah.
And Kimbrel was, like, in the line cheering him on, which is cool, because those should have been Kimbrel's outs, right?
Yeah. And Sale,
I think that's the 3rd time I've done air quotes during this episode. I'm feeling pretty unsure about it.
Sale, fired up the fired up the guys in the dugout in Game 4 after Puig hit the home run.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, I mean, the Red Sox just kind of looked like they were on a mission, like, all year long. Like, did you hear that their spring training record was, like, 17-2?
No, I never heard
like,
it. I mean, they won 119 games total, which is, like, 3rd or 4th all time or something like that.
Oh, really?
I think. Yeah.
Dang. We shut down, for the most part, some of their hitters that I think everyone expected to.
Yeah, you did. That's why a guy like Pierce ends up winning the MVP.
Right. Game 1 was really interesting. It was billed as this, like, crazy pitchers duel, and both big-time pitchers shit the bed by the 5th. I don't think they shit the bed, to be clear.
Right.
Yeah,
I mean, the thing is, like, it's like when a guy would, like, guard Jordan in the playoffs, right? Like, he's going to get 30 points.
Right.
But if you just, like, make him work hard for it, then it can be an okay night, right?
Yeah.
Like, Kershaw gave up.
Ended up getting 5.
In that first game?
Yeah.
No, that's a lot. But still, it's like...
It was
but it's like,
and then Madsen came in.
That's right. Poor Madsen. Oof.
And he had such a good NLCS.
I know he did.
Our bullpen had such a good NLCS. Yeah. That's why, like, I was getting a little bit mad even at Dodgers fans who were so pissed at Dave Roberts. It was like, well, look what this bullpen just did.
Yeah.
Like...
Yeah, the Madsen allowing 100% of inherited runners to score is pretty unpredictable.
Like, Madsen came in the NLCS with bases loaded and no outs, and, like, got out of the inning.
Yeah.
Might have been, yeah. But, anyway, so, yeah, Red Sox were awesome. I mean, it's crazy. I guess it's kind of crazy to me that series, at the end of the day, was 4-1. I mean, it was kind of an ass-kicking, but it just didn't feel like it.
No. Yeah.
I mean, they kind of kicked our asses in Game 5. In the final game of the series.
Right. I think that was the only one.
That was really the only one that felt like it was one.
That was one of the ones that, like, early on in the game, it was like, yeah, I don't think this is a competitive game at this point.
I just think that game
for whatever
4, going up 4-0 and then losing 9-6. That felt like series over.
Yeah, that was bad.
So positive takeaways here is I think if the Dodgers can manage to continue making the postseason,
eventually,
eventually maybe we'll win a World Series. No, but our starting pitchers could start to look like Walker Buehler Game 1, Julio Urias Game 2,
yeah,
and have Clayton Kershaw as your Game 3 starter.
Yeah.
I think
I've lived long enough to see Adam Wainwright turn into the, like, crafty bullpen guy.
Right.
So, like, maybe that...
Yeah, or out of the...
In, like, a handful of years, maybe that's what it is.
Out of the pen. I just am starting to wonder...
He's not ready for that right now, but...
I guess I'm giving into the narrative after this postseason. Like, the World Series was rough. But, again, these guys are also paid to hit. Like... They're professional hitters.
That's what we started saying, right? Is the Red Sox, it's okay to let up runs against the Red Sox. Like, nobody was going to go, except Walker Buehler, like 6 shutout innings or something like that.
Yeah. But I guess what I'm saying is the Dodgers, even with all this success that they've had in the last 6 years, we're trending young.
Yeah, so I was reading some stuff today talking about, like, teams going forward. And the Red Sox are going to be good, like, next year still.
Yeah.
But the Red Sox in 5 years, like, nobody knows what that looks like.
Mm-hmm.
But you can look at the Astros and Yankees and Dodgers and the Cubs to a lesser extent, and it's like, oh, in 5 years, all these guys are going to be or whatever.
Right.
A lot of these guys are going to be all-stars by that point. Like, it's there still.
Yeah. So I also ordered a World Series hoodie. Like, right after we won Game 7 in the NLCS, I was like, I'm doing it. Ordered my World Series hoodie. It gets in next Tuesday, a week from today. So that's cool. Like, not even close to the time.
You love ordering series-specific gear. It's so funny. I know. It cracks me up every time.
I know. People love to make fun of me for it, but it's my thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Kershaw's got to decide if he's going to stay with his contract or opt out.
Yeah, so lots of exciting off-season stuff.
By Thursday of this week.
Yeah.
Probably, honestly, before this comes out, with Halloween being tomorrow night.
Yeah. So players with opt-outs have to choose by, you said Thursday at midnight?
Yeah.
Qualifying offers are like the end of this week. It's pretty exciting.
Yeah. We're going to do some off-season stuff. We just don't know what yet. So make sure you click that bell and get our notifications.
Hit that subscribe.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Mash that like button. Make it to 2 World Series and choke both times. I'm
proud of you. Are you going to release this episode?
Yeah, this episode is going to come out. I really wish I had a different shirt on. My hair is really long. I guess that's it.
2018 in the books, guys.
Boston Red Sox.
Looking forward to 2019.
Thanks to everyone who texted me constantly.